Would you like some shitty players to podcast about a game they're not good at?
What's up, Digidesk, and thank you for listening to the Security Check Digimon TCG Podcast. Make sure to join the Cataclysmic Cardboard Discord server via the link in the description. And now, let's jump into the digital world.
Alrighty, boys, it's been a while. A long while.
Boy, has it ever.
Life happens, work happens. Cardboard can't be with us tonight.
He's spending some time with his lovely wife.
Yes, they just had child number 2. Congratulations to them. Adorable little stinker it is.
There's a good TikTok about stinkers on there.
Oh God. No, I'll stick with dogs. They say parental love can't be beat. Well,
you watch that video and you're like,
there's a line, and I draw the line there. I'll stick with dogs. Not saying dogs aren't capable of that, but you know. Get mad at a dog, I can throw it outside until I cool down. I do that with a baby and the police show up.
This is true.
Jordan's like, well, there was my decision. Not having children.
I don't think we have a whole lot planned for tonight. This is just more so of a update where we've been, what we've been doing.
Catching up and letting everybody know that we are in fact alive.
I do plan to continue the podcast. It's just life happens.
We're about a month and a half out from our last episode. I believe the last episode that we put up was posted the 29th of May.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's been a minute.
That was the week before, basically the couple days before I went to Atlanta Regionals.
Yeah.
So guys, I did okay at Atlanta Regionals, speaking of. Didn't do great, but I did all right. Took War Greymon Toolbox? No, it won't be called. I guess it's Black War Greymon. Did good. Got to meet Mega Sweaty and that whole crew, Team Demon Lords. One Leafy Boy did very well.
Right?
Yeah.
Red Hybrid, correct?
With the Red Hybrid did very well, very well. Very proud of him. Barely bubbled out. 20th.
Oh, that's your favorite thing, isn't it? The bubble. You just love the bubble, don't you?
I do. It just stinks for him because, like, 20th. It's like, oh, I was right there. Right there.
Yeah.
Of course, 17 probably feels worse, but. But yeah, regionals was fun. The in-person regionals, it was very good because, like I said, I love meeting people and I got to give out Cataclysmic Gamers bracelets and all that. So in-person stuff has been good. And then I've just been in so many tournaments lately, or so many locals, like with Pokemon finally going to Mana House and doing that. Then my other online regional. It's just every weekend seems to be something. So just busy with cards and work.
Nice. Yeah, been nice. And Bandai has opened their judge program, so that makes me hopeful that we might see some more in-person, larger events. Otherwise, why the hell do they need a bunch more judges for?
Definitely not at the local level.
Right.
Well, the reason I say that is you can have 32 people, and between you all, I'm pretty sure a conclusion can be drawn without a local judge because there's nothing really huge you're playing for. You know, it's not like championship points or anything like that. So, yeah. Did you take yours? Did you get in?
I got in. I signed up to test on not this Saturday, but next, the 22nd.
Okay, cool. I was wondering because I know sometimes they cut off pretty quick, but yeah, hope you do great. and hopefully, like this, like you said, this preludes to more in-person events, which would be cool. So, what have you guys been doing? You know what I've been doing? Any card game activity?
Just the occasional Digimon locales, which our locals did kind of patter out there for a few weeks. But a couple of the original Digimon players from that area, they had swapped to Pokemon for their competitive itch, and they just recently started back into the Digimon. So we went from a maybe 4-person locals to now hopefully we'll start seeing 10 or more.
Yeah, this most recent locals that we did day before yesterday, we had 10 people.
It'll be great. Well, hopefully.
It was good to see life in the locals again. Well, life that was not us.
Yeah. And I'm glad to see that everybody's still trying to do the online tournaments in our group as well. We had one while I was at Digimon or at Pokemon the other day, so glad to see Dark Light and everybody, still trying to stick with that. Arbiter and some people. So thank you guys.
It's a strange feeling because I think that most of our community was built on Digimon. But even when the Digimon seems to have temporarily dried up, the community is still there. They're just playing other games.
Mm-hmm.
It's a strange feeling, but I think it's a good feeling to know that the community is still there.
Oh yeah. Even though I've been super inactive, you know what? There's a lot going on though. Lot of things going on in our little group and other groups and locals just being it coming into Corbin Cards and Games this week and seeing, to me, so many people tickled me to death. I was like, yes, don't have to play my friends every weekend.
I was gonna say I don't think I played any of you this weekend.
Yeah,
Me and Cardboard paired up. I think that was about it. Yeah.
I did play my old nemesis though.
Yeah.
It was very good to see that in locals. And so we can call it hopefully the revival. Because I hope they're doing it because they're wanting to get back into it and they're going to enjoy it, which pre-release will say a lot.
Yeah, I think we'll have a better idea when the pre-release happens as to who's going to stick around and who was just, doing a one-time thing to take a break from Pokemon.
Yeah, I really think is the Alphamon player is John his name?
Yeah, his name's John.
Yes. I feel like he's a lot like us. He just loves card games. And like he had a lot of fun playing that Alphamon deck again. I don't know how much he plays, but I noticed he looked like he was in his wheelhouse there playing Alphamon.
He knows that deck inside and out, and he should. I mean, he spent a pretty penny on that deck. He completely blinged it out. I'm pretty sure his deck is max rarity.
Yeah, it was max rarity when Alphamon was tier 0.
Mm-hmm. It was not tier 0. Very, very close. It felt like close.
It was tier 0.
So rethinking the way that my matches with him went, I realized something that I didn't before. Is that the reason that Alphamon is so good is that the archetype itself has a lot of search, but that's not what makes it so much stronger than it should be, considering how it got hit. The thing that makes Alphamon so strong is that basically all of their cards are also searchable by Cool Boy, and no other archetype has that. for every other archetype that uses X antibody, only like half to a third of their cards are searchable by Cool Boy. But with Alphamon, their entire deck is searchable by Cool Boy,
Yep,
except for their gamers.
Everything is X antibody.
And so Cool Boy in that deck is just
busted
gravy. It is so good in that deck.
I mean,
So
it's like after
he runs 4 of them naturally.
Yeah, but after it got hit, like I mean, it still had a sparse. Like you'd see it top a random event just out of nowhere. It's like, oh hey, cool, you talked to the Alphamon.
Played it at my first Ulti Cup, round 1,
Yep.
and it did Alphamon things very good still.
Mm-hmm. So, just goes to show you. I mean,
to give clarification though, this John and his Alphamon deck, this is the fella that I was talking about when I said I got to play my old nemesis again, because whenever I first got into Digimon, those guys were playing Digimon really heavily, the group that came back from Pokemon, and John was one of those guys, and I was playing Gallantmon at the time, and Alphamon absolutely destroyed me every time we played. I don't think I ever took a single game off of him, let alone took a match.
Yeah.
Things were different. Things were different this time because I was playing Blackroar Greymon, and of course Alphamon got hit. He still managed to beat me, but I took a game off of him and made the other 2 games very close. So, yeah.
So, were they grindy games? Like, did you just lose to the grind? Or was he like able to get like the, Alphamon OTK off relatively easily? Like,
so he never got an OTK off a single time, but he did get the Alphamon combo off.
Okay.
He never had the +1 security
Sunarizamon.
Yeah, he never had anything to give him +1 security, so whenever he got his combo off, he was swinging for like 3 checks.
Okay.
Most of the time.
Gotcha.
The thing that kept beating me though is that because he has so much digging power, he was able to get his combo pieces insanely fast, and I only had time to build 1 stack. And with me only having 1 stack, his Alphamon, whenever it digivolves up, I can't remember if it's Alphamon or if it's Oryukin, but one of them
digivolves.
One digivolves and then the other one deletes. And so if you don't have all of your protections on the turn that he does the thing, you just die anyway. And so since he was fast enough, I was only able to get 1 stack, and then he would digivolve up, kill my 1 stack, and from that point on, I was basically screwed. Because the only removal I have in my deck is Hades Force, and I have 1 Crimson Blaze. And I'm honestly thinking about swapping the Crimson Blaze out for a Gaia Force. Just for that reason, so that I can get rid of his stack if I have to.
Just because I just looked up Alphamon to see which was, but yeah, Alphamon digivolves and Oryukin deletes highest play cost. But pre-sale for BT13 Alphamon is currently $50 for the regular art.
Good gosh, like
people are ridiculous.
Pre-sales are always grossly overpriced, though.
Yeah. Didn't even realize versus Rolling Knight pre-sales are even up. Let's see, what kind of craziness do we have here?
I mean, that's the set that's coming out. That's coming Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised pre-sales for it are out then. It's only a week out.
I guess they just try to, people want to snap what they want, and hopefully, to them, it'll balance out.
Be the first kid on the block that's got the shiny new thing.
Yeah, they just wanted us like Cranium on is $50.
Well, like I guess they're hoping to shine great. Like, are these alternate arts or regular arts?
No, regulars. King Drazel's $50. All the, which I don't know if looks like all the Galmon stuff sold out.
People will still buy them though, because they just like you said, they want the first shiny new thing. They want to be the first,
Mhm.
which is not always the
Mhm.
best idea.
Oh yeah, never buy pre-sale unless you are on a, which I don't, even then I don't even condone it, unless you are on like a time crunch, like say the set drops the week before you're supposed to go to a regional, and like you just gotta have those cards the day of release. Like, don't buy pre-sale. Hell, look at EX04, man. So many people bought pre-sale. What was it? Kazuha Bond was like stupid pre-sale, and now it's like $5.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, just wait. Give it a week. If you do not need those cards before a certain date, give it a week. The market will stabilize. As people open this product, those prices will go down for the most part. Just for the most part.
Yeah, I was about to say some alt art, some waifu products will go. They will
Q-
stay the same or go up.
Q ruin mode, which is a $40 regular art, $50 alt art.
Well, that's why I think Gamamon. I raised with that. If you want to play a future deck that doesn't have support that's not expensive right now, buy it now.
Buy it.
Like, I have a fully blinged Gamamon deck. I have all the alternate art from the Illustrator pack. I have all the full art. So yes, I got multiple arts of the same searcher card, but
Hey.
went ahead and bought it all because you never know. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, I lucked out. Like, I've been a Mirage Galgamon stan since, the first Mirage Galgamon came out. I was like, oh, I just love this Digimon. I want his cards, and now he's about to be relevant. So, I already had all my stuff.
Do you feel vindicated after like 16, 17 sets? He's finally going to be relevant.
As I've tried to, like, play this deck, like, no. It was like
you can finally enjoy your cake.
Yeah, it was like when we first got the Data Squad cards. It was like, okay, the Rosemon was a Digiburst. The Shine Greymon was a Digiburst. For some reason, they gave the Digiburst effects to the through line, but the Mirage Galgamon was just like, oh, this guy can't be blocked. It's like, okay. Why didn't I get a cool Digiburst effect? And then, the EX3 one. That was a nice one. It just needed more support, and now it's getting that more support.
Okay. You know what? I forgot. This is the perfect transition into the next topic. The meta. What do you think? So EX4 felt very, very short, extremely short. Going into BT13, what do you think our meta is going to look like? Local wise, regional, whatever,
Well, just talking to the guys that just came back, man, like, I know, I done forgot his name. The Alphamon, obviously, he's just going to get better, so he's just going to upgrade his Alphamon and keep playing Alphamon.
Yep.
Smart move.
Then the guy I played, I'm terrible with names, so if you're listening to this, I apologize.
Is he the taller guy that used to play Commandramon?
Yes. Yeah, because I talked to him. I was like, yeah, he used to play Commandramon. That was one of my decks for a long time. He was playing Hunters, so yeah.
But that's why he bought it, because he wanted to come play.
Yeah.
He hadn't played in a long time. This is the best deck in format, pretty much. So, and it was dirt cheap.
Oh yeah.
So of course he bought it.
He's
like, this deck is. They didn't charge nothing for this deck, and it's like, yep.
Yeah, he and I had a conversation about that. He said that he likes playing Gallantmon, but the Gallantmon deck isn't really competitive, and it's like some of the cards are $30 to $50 for the Gallantmon deck, and he's like, that's just ridiculous. Why would I do that whenever I can do this for $40 and have the top deck in format, or a top deck in format?
Mm-hmm. No, 100%. But yeah, so we get a lot of stuff from this. Jessmon gets a lot of consistency back. Best of one.
Consistency back? Did Jessmon ever have consistency? What are we talking about here? That's
we have
Brickmon.
we have Savior Huckmons again. Okay.
Oh,
We
okay.
have-
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
So
all right.
when we search, it's during that we can actually get we're not banking on one good one and 3 mediocre ones or 4 mediocre ones.
You're like, oh my god, it's a level 5. These are so rare.
And then you run 2 Chimera, you pull Chimera, you're like, oh god, I don't have any stacks to do this with. But yeah. So what did you guys? Because I know I watch a lot of stuff, but BT13 got spoiled. It feels like a year ago now.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I honestly, I mean, I had no interest in like the Royal Knight deck, the like Yggdrasil Mega Zoo kinda deck we're getting here. Honestly, like
Wait. Let me guess. You were excited about Prince Mamimon. Is that it? Was that the one?
I mean, he's one, yeah. Obviously, Mirage Galgamon, as I've already said. I'm definitely interested in those cards. The Chessmon deck kind of looks fun. I mean, I don't think it's going to do anything. As a green, so I've not really looked at a whole lot of like the Rosemon. Like I know the Rosemon Burst Mode deck is apparently supposed to be really good, like really nuts. And as a green player, I feel like I've slept on this, so I really need to look into that. And then Poop gets more support with the Platinum Sukamon. We get a new King Sukamon, a new Chumon, all the pieces. We get a new top end with Prince Mamimon and King Edamon. And then the Chessmon Tamer, surprisingly works super well with the Poop deck.
Yeah.
Let's see here. There was something else.
So once you find your last one, I'll ask you a question.
Here it is. It's the
what?
The Camimon stuff. Like I don't know. It's...
Oh wait. Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about now. I was like Camimon. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Well, what are you looking forward for that? What do you feel like it's gonna? Is it gonna be rogue? Like okay.
No. This deck is not gonna do anything.
Okay.
It plays similar to Aegistermon. The low end all has blocker, and then when you get to 5+, it's opponent's turn. When your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may play one level 4 lower Digimon card from this Digimon's Digivolution sources. So it's just like
okay.
Same thing with Jumbo Gamamon. I mean, he has blocker. He's a 13k body, and then it's when your opponent's Digimon attacks, you can play a level 5 from his Digivolution sources. Like, look into that. Like, what kind of nutty stuff can you do with that? Like, is the deck going to be good? No. Can we do something stupid with it? Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, okay. So for this, because this will be our longest meta, or when does RBO one anyway? For this current meta, go ahead now.
I'm still convinced that we're never getting RBO1, but yeah.
we are. They made the announcement. Okay. Oh no. Okay. All right. So, question: what is going to be your go-to? Like, what do you think will be your meta deck that you will play this set? And what is your fun, off the wall jank or just a fun deck is not going to do great? So
100%, 100% Mirage Galgamon as I'm playing this deck every week. Try to be competitive with this deck. Yes, 100%. And right now, as far as like my fun deck, I'm really looking at like Ravemon hand loop shenanigans, just because I think it'd be really funny to just sit there and just tell your opponent to discard their entire flipping hand. And that's just the Yu-Gi-Oh player in me. He's like, oh, hand loop? What?
Seems really cool.
And Ravemon also is getting a new through line and a burst mode to go with the stuff we got in EX4. So
have a good solid archetype.
But currently, that's the deck I'm looking at for fun is Ravemon. Going into this set, currently my setup is My competitive deck is Chaos Dramon, and my fun deck is Aegis Dramon. So, as for Chris, what are you looking at, or what is your two preferred decks going to be?
I don't know if I'll pick up any of the new decks that have cropped up in EX4 or BT13. I'll probably stick with Black or Greymon. I'm gonna have to make some adjustments to it, obviously, but
also,
I'm still feeling Black or Greymon, so
yeah,
I'll stick with that.
Also, anyone out there wants to be generous, we need to get this man some Examons. The struggle is real.
Yeah, I've had all of Examon except for the three Examon that I need. Like I've had the entire deck built except for 3 Examon because I only pulled one.
Which you don't get. We don't get any new low end for him going into this set, but he is a Royal Knight, so we do get a new level 7 Examon, which is still a DNA. So I mean, you can just throw it in. I don't really know what all the Examon shenanigans are. I know it's an inheritable deck, so you know your stack matters.
The stack matters.
As for the jank, it's kind of hard to explain, but I do have a jank project that will be coming.
Oh dear.
Specifically out of one card in BT13, I have a jank product.
Oh yes.
Yeah, you remember.
Where is that?
There's a certain egg in BT13.
The egg, that was it. Yes.
Yeah, the yellow egg in BT13 is gonna enable some shenanigans, or at least I'm gonna attempt to use it to enable some shenanigans and get off some speedy, not necessarily OTKs, but get really fast damage in.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on how the build goes, I may or may not incorporate some alliance shenanigans into that, because I think that would be ideal.
Alliance is just nice to splash in anything.
Oh my god. How have I known about this card for like a year, and I'm just now reading
what it does?
Rosemon Burst Mode. Yes. I just okay. More plant support. You know, I have Bloom Lord. I'll pick up those cards, and now I'm just sitting here like looking at it, and it's like, When Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and one of their tamers. All of your opponent's suspended Digimon and tamers don't unsuspend until the end of their turn. When attacking, for every 2 suspended Digimon and or tamers your opponent has in play, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack.
Yeah,
sounds
it's
like
nasty.
winning to me.
Like, damn.
We out here winning. We winning.
Damn.
Rosemon got hands.
Rosemon got hands. And then Burst, I'm just Burst Digivolution, keyword effect Digivolution, like it's that little weird box like DNA. So Burst Digivolution, for these Digimon that have Burst Digivolutions, you gotta have the level 6 original. So for Rosemon, you gotta have Rosemon, and then you gotta have the Tamer, the Data Squad Tamer. And you return those to your hand to Digivolve into the burst mode for 0, but at the end of the turn, you trash the top card. So okay, hold on a second. I'm reading this. Okay, so you still Digivolve on top of your Rosemon stack. You return the Tamer to your hand, and then at the end of the turn, you trash the burst mode and go back to your Rosemon. So, I mean, these effects are nutty, but I mean, you gotta bounce your Tamer. You gotta have the specific level 6. So, I mean, I guess that balances it. And it's only on the field for 1 turn, so it's like it's kind of like the bonds, like they were crazy. You warped to them from the rookie, but it's like you had to have the tamer, then the rookie had to survive, and then you lose the bond at the end of the turn if you warped. Now you can digivolve into these cards naturally for a higher cost, and they stay, but Mikey, what is your meta deck versus fun deck going into BT13? I think
All right.
you have
Meta
named a
deck.
couple. Yep.
Meta deck is going to be Shine Greymon.
Okay.
But
Sean is beating Jessmon. I'm impressed. Yep. I applaud you.
Well, I think I really enjoy. I don't know how I'm going to run it yet. I know there's a lot more cards coming in that is going to make me want to lean towards a more red base, but I still think I'm wanting to go for the more control type variant of this deck, where I run basically more tamers and option cards than I do Digimon. Still feel like I want to go that route. I really like playing that in the base I have it now with 20-something Digimon, and then basically the rest is options and tamers. I'm enjoying that little split there. So Shine Greymon. And then my fun deck, I've got a lot of little decks, and this is why it's always hard for me every set, because I get Kmart Alphamon back. I can finally play decks.
Oh yeah, because we get an actual Doru Greymon. We can play up more than one copy.
Yes, and I got my couple security Duromons. I got my new Duromons. All this Digimon has an X Antibody trait.
Now that you said it, I gotta get Dorumons, and they're like $8.
The security ones?
Yeah. Can I go back to when I said that the security rookies were going to be box toppers and they were going to be expensive just purely because they were box toppers?
But at least they're all at like $8. I think there might be one that's like 11. That's pretty good for those. Like for instance, buy them now, because if you don't,
no, 100%.
Yeah,
I get paid Friday. I pulled one, so I get paid Friday, and I'm buying my last 3.
I've got my 2 Huckmons. I pulled 2 because I got 6 boxes. I went ham.
I bought 3 boxes, and then I did some trading, and out of my trading, I have 3 Huckmons, 1 Dorumon. I somehow ended up with 6 Harrismons, 2 Pulsemons, and 4 Blucomons. So I need 2 Pulsemons, 3 Dorumons. I never play red, so I'm not worried about the Huckmons. And then what was the purple one? It was Impmon, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. The Impmon security.
But I interrupted you again because I'm really good at doing that. So.
No, I just like it because this just helps branch that little fun deck out, because we don't have our top end that we like to run with that deck, which is Death X. So, 2 Death X, your deck's Duro, your Duro.
Yeah, it looks like the Impmon's $5.50. The Dorumon is 8 something.
There wasn't enough room in the deck once we got the security rookies that Beelzemon really needed it, It had done filled itself way out by the time we got these.
Yep. But the limit to the EX2 Impmon, I mean, that's a filler spot, I guess. If there's nothing better to throw in, at least it's still a name.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, but there's the old Impmon where you attack. If it gets deleted, you draw or you discard 3. I mean, that's there's still plenty of options for that. I like. This is what we're finally getting to the point to where we can branch out some. Like we're filling out archetypes. Like
Blucomon is $3, so that one's not terrible. Impmon was $5. Here's where the Pulsemon is like 50 cents because the Pulsemon kind of sucks. Yeah, 22 cents.
How much is Huckmon? It's probably not a lot either.
I don't know. Jessmon hype. The Huckmon is No, $2.
Mm-hmm. Well, because now this new Huckmon, if you decided to splash him in, it was for filler. But now this new Huckmon is way better. When you play once, I mean, there's a lot of once per turn stuff, but yeah. And I'm looking forward to a lot of weird cards in this set, like the extra Jellymon, that line, the extra Angoromon stuff. It's nice to start,
and
because when we get RBO1, we'll be filled out. You'll have the whole archetype there to go.
And for any Phoenixmon lovers, and this set is obviously based on Data Squad. Marcus's little sister in Data Squad was a Biomon tamer, so we get a new red tamer and a new through line for Biomon that surprisingly works really well with the Phoenixmon support.
Well, now you won't have to worry as much about Marsmon.
Yeah.
Now you'll actually be able to feel out that archetype more.
Now we did that. Now they did not get a new level 6.
No.
Yeah, but you could just use the old Phoenixmon.
Yeah, but I mean the deck was already playing 4 Phoenixmon and 2 Marsmon, so it's like you drop the raid line. I mean, like, what's your new level 6? Because if you're dropping the Bearmons and the Grismons and the Graps, then Marsmon isn't that great because you're losing all of your boosts. So if you're dropping that stuff to make room for the new Bio, Aquila, and the new Garudamon, what's becoming your new alt level 6? Or are you just going to play 4 level 6s?
No, you're gonna play 6 level 6s. You're gonna have 4 of the new Phoenixmon, and you're gonna have 2 of the old Phoenixmon.
What old Phoenix? There's not a new Phoenixmon. There's not a new level 6 in BT13.
No, I'm saying the Phoenixmon that came with all of the red vaccine support. That's the new Phoenixmon. The old Phoenixmon is from EX1.
Oh. Does that card do anything? I don't play red.
Not necessarily with the archetype, but it satisfies all of the conditions, and it's a level 6, and I'm pretty sure it's playable by the more recent Phoenixmon's effects. I'm pretty sure it is. I might be mistaken.
You can even run the old bird we can't pronounce its name of. The tiny taught us how to say it, and I totally forgot it.
It's like Zhuchaomon or something like that.
Zhuchaomon, yeah.
You can always run that for some definite board control because it is a bird.
Yeah.
I'm ready because, like I said, for me, once again, last set was really good. Well, not EX4, but the set before, Gogglehead love all over the place. But Royal Knights, come on. Everybody loves the Royal Knights.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, there's just, you can't name, we could go through here and start, we got Craniumon, we got, Alphamon. There's a lot. There's a lot in here.
Leopardmon.
Leopardmon, Examon, Rosemon. Like, get a lot of top ends.
So I like how they themed the Dynasmon and the Lord Nightmon around the Tamers representation of them. They made them both purple, and they work with Lucimon and Royal Knight. I think we're going to see a lot of Belphamon. I think Belphamon did good in the JP meta. So we're going to see a lot of Belphamon, I do believe, with the Gizumons and the new purple Tamer, the Akihiro.
Yeah, I forgot all about Belphamon.
Karada, yeah.
I'm not excited about the new Sec Digimon. I'm not excited about the new the secret rare Digimon that's in this one. The levels, the Omnimon and the Gallantmon.
Oh.
I'm not excited about those. Maybe I will. Maybe they'll change my mind, but as of right now, I'm like, Gallantmon's just in there for the Yggdrasil deck.
Mm-hmm.
And Omnimon is in there just for that deck. Which maybe that's why they showed a lot of other level 7 loves that are just SRs.
No, that
You know.
that Gallantmon can totally fit in the Gallantmon deck.
Oh yeah, no, the on play when digivolving when attacking. Yeah, no that. And then just that's a kooky play requirement there. Like if you have no Digimon in play, reduce it by 2 for every 5 total cards in both players' trash. Like,
I
go and
mean,
do some stuff.
basically that means that if you make it to late game and you have like your board just got cleared, you just slap this guy down, kill their big body, and swing because it gets
Comeback game
rushed.
is on. It's like that, and then we got like the Magnamon in this set too. He's still no armor purge, but he's still still got the Digivolve 3 from Vmon. So blocker all turns when this Digimon would leave play, draw 1. Then you can play 1 Vmon from your hand, or this Digimon's Digivolution cards without paying the cost. So that's armor purge, but better.
I was about to say, is it going to get played though? Like, or what are we going to see from this? Like,
Oh yeah, you're going to see the Yggdrasil deck, and it's going to play all of them.
Yeah.
It's just what it's going to do.
Well, I was meaning more like Magnamon. Like, we got the weird Bancho, the barrier, the new keyword barrier.
Oh yeah, that's a thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I don't think we're going to see
that ain't
from
this set.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, no. So the Bancho doesn't have barrier. He has blocker.
But
the through line has barrier. The loader
Mhm.
Leo has barrier as a inheritable. I was like, yeah. I'm curious to see if the Kintarusmon deck does anything. I know there's a yellow deck that heavily centers the new Kintarusmon. See if anybody plays it, does anything with it. To be fair, I really, really like Kintarusmon, like design wise. It's like one of my top favorite Royal Knights.
So yes, it would be cool. I mean, it's definitely got some cool stuff. You guys will just have to go look at it. People be, like this set is kind of self-contained. We've been building on it for 2 to 3 sets now. So now it's going to finish most of it, and we've started the next. So we've finished Mirage, Galgo, and all them, but now we're going into RBL1, and I think we're finally starting to get this pattern of how Bandai is doing things. An archetype, you need to go ahead, like we mentioned, start buying it. So, for instance, start buying your Jellymons, your Teslas, the older stuff you didn't get from a couple sets ago, because now you're going to have enough between the 2 sets. So we got 2 Jellymon. We'll have 3 Jellymon, 4 Jellymon now.
And
so you're gonna
and the Jellymon deck in Japan is topping and is currently topping.
So need to get that stuff now before we get to RBL1, and it's really expensive.
Yeah, it's definitely not going anywhere.
But that was the trend.
But Amphimon is topping and is still topping in the Japanese meta. So
it's very good because you've now got both sides of Jelly. She's got the blue support now that strips so many Digivolution cards, and then now where you can put Tesla jellies underneath other Jellymon and so forth and so on, it lets you kind of build this really unblockable Jellymon because of your Hirokishiro, the Tamer. So yeah. But yes, I was just saying that was the trend that I've noticed, after being in this game so long, is once you see an archetype start, they've now gotten really good at the next set it'll get a little bit, and then the next set it'll finish, or it'll get consistent, then it'll finish. So just if you see something you like or think is going to be good, go ahead and buy it now, especially if you like those. We're in our almost final set. We won't see any more.
And Bandai's throwing us a bone, as in box toppers for BT13 are going to contain, or is it 13 or is it 14? No, it's 13, right? It's this set box topper. Yeah, you can get the Ace Metal Garurumon or the Ace War Greymon. think we're going to see. I don't think the purple Garurumon deck has enough for the ace to matter at the moment. Now, will Greymon play the Greymon ace?
I don't know. I'll have to get it in my hand and act. Those are one of those cards that I definitely would have to try just to see how it. Because, like, how is it going to mess up my consistency, things like that? Is it going to be worth it right now?
Right. Oh, no. No, dang. You don't even got to. So, we looked at these ones. So the Blast Digivolve, it doesn't have to Digivolve on a War Greymon. So, never mind. So, we might see the Garurumon and the Greymon played because as long as you have a black.
Mm-hmm. Well, and even with a Garurumon,
yeah, because it's great. It's Greymon and Garurumon in name because the Greymon I'm looking at right now, it's Greymon in name. So yeah. Okay.
I don't think it'll solve Garurumon's issues, but I've looked at it in Gabubond and things like that. So that's what I've looked at it for. And no, I'm not a blue player, Guapo. I just happen to like Gabumon. He joked on my TikTok when I said, all my decks I was playing was red. And he's like, I thought you were a blue player. Could have swore.
Weren't you just like riding Jellymon there, bud?
Mm-hmm.
Sure you're not a blue player?
It's one of the best. Back in the day, man, when me and Tiny made Raspberry Jam and it had like all kinds of, yeah. I love that deck. That was one of my favorite, was the Old Force, the Jelly Force, and the Raspberry Jam with yeah. It's a good deck, okay? It's fun.
I didn't say it wasn't, man.
It's like I still want Leomon to somehow just mash together and make a really fun, weird deck. And that's kind of what I was hoping Barrier would do, but where it's a singular color.
Yeah, they keep dropping the ball on the level 6s, and then they can't decide what color they want it to be. It's like, okay, Leomon's yellow, great. So, or no, it's like, oh, Leomon's blue, great. Now he's blue-green, great. Now he's... Which, to be fair, the Boncho line isn't actually a Leomon line, because none of his, he's it's Liamon, not Leomon, for the level 4. Loader Leomon, which they finally changed the name in the U.S. to Leomon, so any effect with Leomon in name can target Loader Leo. But, the next set we get, the one that's the ace set from Adventure, we're getting more green Leomon stuff from it, but
are you saying I should buy Chimeramons now, just in case, right? So I can make this rainbow Leomon deck and then just converge what I want with Chimera?
Bro, if we get BT13 next week and you still don't have a play set of Chimeramons, then I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, I bought 2 alternate arts, and that's all I've ever bought, and that's all I ever run.
I've pulled 3 regular arts, but I've not played a deck that's required me to have 4. So
yeah, that's the way. It's the same way with Death X. I got 2. I think there's if you need 4, something's just wrong. I don't know what your strategy is.
Says the guy that pulled 5. I think bought 2 prizing boxes that both had Death X Mons in it. Like you just couldn't miss with that set, man.
No, I
just couldn't miss.
And all I wanted to do was build Alphamon. I just wanted Oryukin mode, okay? And I had to go, which they were dirt cheap not too long ago.
They still are.
And I went ahead and bought my playset, like hands down. I was like, nope. So it's worth.
They still. See, that was me. I was pulling Oryukin modes, and you're over here like, oh, got no Death X.
Got an Altar Death X. Ooh.
Buys 2 boxes for us to give away as price support. Both boxes have a Death X in it. It's like, what? How? How do you do that?
Do you believe in magic? Okay. So we definitely talked about all the decks from BT13. We didn't mention all of them, but we mentioned the vast majority.
And we didn't go into detail on a lot of the stuff. But I mean, there's this set I do believe has a little bit of something for everybody.
I don't want to say if you can't find it here, you're not going to, but I basically mean that. Because between this and going back, this is probably your best chance at finding something that's going to be fun for you, especially if you're starting. It's kind of like the Omnimon, the Battle for Omni set. It's a good set if you're getting started to start this one, because you're going to be able to go back and basically just 2 sets. And booster boxes are not super expensive. Most of them are still around the 70 because they're older, maybe 75. They won't skyrocket. Digimon hasn't been bad, even if something's really good. They just find the most expensive card and it stays at that price. Mm-hmm. So the most expensive card's $80, like Rena, it's set around $80. So yeah, I think it's a good starter set if you want to get going.
Yeah, and the way these releases hit, I mean, like you said, EX4 is just a precursor to this. They're both heavily Data Squad themed, so it's like between this set and EX4, you've got all the Shine Greymon stuff. Granted, you still need some of the older Red, Yellow, Agumon, Shine Greymon stuff to make that deck the best it can be. But as a intro, as a starter, you can definitely build a deck between EX4 and this set.
Yeah.
Same thing with Gaomon, like the EX4 stuff, and then the stuff from here you can build. You definitely want to build a better version of the deck if you go back to EX3 and get that stuff too. Which again, all this stuff's relatively cheap. Cannot say what the new stuff's going to be. I have a feeling all 3 of the burst modes are probably, unfortunately, going to sit at $20 for the first few weeks, if not more. Because, I mean, we're looking at Ruin mode right now, and Ruin mode is... So, Ruin mode, I don't want to say is artificially inflated. Ruin mode is suffering from the same thing that Rena and Examon are suffering from. And it's that they're secrets. Examon more so than Rena. Because, like, Rena was a secret in a regular set, but it's like, when you get these, like, one-off secrets in the EX sets, which, in an EX set, you buy a box, you're not guaranteed a secret. So that's why Examon's, which, I mean, apparently the Examon deck is good. But, that's why Examon's still expensive without a lot of representation. It's just because it came from a set you weren't guaranteed a secret, and... Unfortunately, he was
with All Force.
Yep.
All Force is just all these decks. I think would have had more representation if they weren't so expensive to get. Because you need a playset of most of those cards we mentioned, or at least 3 of. So it's like
I take that back. The burst modes might sit between 8 and 10 because looking at them now, they're just SRs. So
yeah.
So once people start ripping this product, there's going to be a lot of them out there.
So okay, we're gonna try this. We're gonna shoot this on the wall. Speaking of ripping, okay, so we've got some old heads coming into our local scene. We do have a lot of new players that always ask questions, especially in our Discord. What would be our tip of the week to a new player? We'll start off with the Digimon card game. What would be, since we are a Digimon podcast, what would be our tip for them this week? What's a good tip you guys have picked up over the years?
Don't get discouraged.
Very good.
I mean, I played a fun deck at this local, so I was like, oh, we got a lot of people here. I'm gonna play a fun deck. It's gonna be a good day. This is our first larger locals we've had in a long time, and I got bodied all 3 rounds. All 3 rounds got bodied. So it's like, yeah, I lost all day long. But I had fun. And me and the guy I matched with round 1, I cannot remember his name. He's playing the Hunters. We've talked about him all night. Even I talked to him about it. I was like, yeah, I was like, I've got this, and this. I was like, but I want to play this. And he's like, yeah. He's like, that's one of the reasons that we stepped back over into Digimon. He's like, yeah, we're still playing Pokemon, and Pokemon is our competitive hustle game, but he said Digimon as a game is just fun. Win or lose, no matter what you're doing, just playing the game, he said, was fun. And I agree with that. I just have fun slinging cards. Like I said, I lost all day long. All day long lost. So
A tip.
don't get discouraged. Every game is a learning game. Like, if you're losing, look at why you're losing. I lost because I was playing Mirage Galgamon and I just couldn't keep up with speed. And all my games, I was only able to build one stack, and then once they answered that stack, I had no recovery.
That was 2 tips. You gave 2 tips. But
Sorry.
no, that was good. Don't get discouraged. I like that blanket tip because, like you said, you learned. Because you never know if we sit there and just you listen to what we say. If me being a majority red player says, "Oh, this red deck's going to be bad," don't take my word for it. Your locals might be different, and you can, try it out for yourself and see if it does good. Don't just take someone's word to be the end all be all. And if it does bad, do like Haggy said. Write down some mistakes you made, learn from it. But that is our tip of the week, which is brought to you by Prismatic Defender. Go check them out on www.prismaticdefender.com. Don't break the bank to bling out your jank. Anything over $50 gets you free shipping in the US and Canada, and you can use SecCheck15 at checkout for 15% off.
And speaking of Prisma, I don't have a lot of their product yet. When the next wave comes out, I will be buying a bunch. But my Mirage Galgamon deck is sleeved in what Prismatic Defender product I have, and that's the first thing, round 1. Oh man, what is that star foiling on your cards? Oh, that's my sleeve, like it catches the eye. People like it. And it's not so overpowering, like you don't gotta worry. Like, you can still see the cards clearly. You can still read the text. I like them. I'm excited for the new stuff.
Yee-boo. My internet is starting to do its thing again. It's being bad internet.
Well, does our lovely outro man still remember his outro?
Yeah, I think so. This has been another episode of the Security Check Digimon TCG Podcast. We appreciate you listening. Sorry for the wait. Hope you enjoyed this one. Catch you next time.
Hopefully you missed us as much as we missed you guys.